One of the most anticipated games of 2024 is finally here, and it's time to take on the role of the Chosen One. That means tons of enemies to fight and crazy boss fights. Luckily, we here at Direct Gaming have the perfect guide for you on how to take down the wolf boss, Guangzhi. I am so sorry if I butchered that pronunciation, but I tried my best. This guide will be broken down into 3 parts, so check the timeline down below if you want to find the exact part that you're looking for. Part 1 will be personal setup and skills that I personally had unlocked and what I brought into the battle. Part 2 will be tips on how to avoid the boss's attacks and how to counter each of them. Then finally, at the end, will be a full run of the boss fight sped up a tad to show you how to use everything that you have learned in real time. Alright, let's get started. Now, usually I don't need to do this for most of our boss fights, but because this game actually does not have a map, I'm going to show you real quickly how to get to the actual boss location because it can be a little tricky sometimes. This wolf boss is located near the outside of the forest. I know, real easy way to distinguish a place. Regardless though, just follow the path that you see on screen to the boss arena. In terms of skills and items that I had during the fight, you can buy some burn potions from the Keeper Shrine since the boss actually uses fire with his attacks. For skills, since it's super early in the game, I simply leveled up stamina for dodging, not sprinting. Make sure you read which tree branch you're going to upgrade. Extra health and stamina, which is always very helpful. Then finally, I unlocked a brand new stance called Pillar, which is very fun and actually can be helpful for knocking the enemy out of his attacks. Finally, I upgraded my magic immobilization attack by 1. Thanks to this upgrade, after I use immobilize once, the next time around that I use it, it will actually last longer for each attack that I land. Other than that, that's everything that I brought into the boss fight. Now let's go take a look at him. Now, when it comes to the boss fight itself, Guangzhi is very mobile here, so you need to stay on your toes. But don't just simply spam dodge, as you will run out of stamina pretty fast, so be careful. Now, let's go over each of the attacks that the boss is going to throw at you and how to properly counter them. Right away at the start of the fight, the boss will prepare his charge attack, which happens to be the same every single time you start this fight. Trust me, I died 3 times before finally taking this boss down because I wanted to learn everything that he personally had for this guide. An easy way to recognize this attack is the boss will have both of his arms to his side while holding his weapon. You'll want to get used to recognizing what the boss is doing and what stances he has before he attacks you, that way you can properly dodge and counter. Once he is ready, he will run straight at you and start with a spin attack. Remember, there's no blocking in this game, so you need to dodge this first attack. Don't rest yet though, however, because he will attack again with 2 more spin attacks, each of which will have a chance to set you on fire. If you physically see yourself on fire, you can do one of 2 things. Dodge a couple of times to get rid of the flames, or if you happen to see the kanji for fire and a bar near your character, then you can either wait it out or use one of the items that you bought from the Keeper. The wolf's next attack to look out for is actually very similar to your own pillar move, where he will use his blade staff to push himself up into the air and do a slam attack at your position. He will actually do this a total of 3 times, so don't get comfy standing in one spot. He will also finish this move with a small spin of his weapon, so don't try to run in, otherwise you might get burnt. The third attack he does is a moving spinning move where he basically is surrounded by flames. While some of the attacks that you can do will knock him out of his attack combos to do more damage, this one I found is either really tricky or you just can't do it. So just simply dodge out of the way. Luckily, it's a single line of attack, then it's over. The next attack will look like this when the boss holds his weapon to his side with both of his hands. This is a very fast dash attack that he does twice, so you need to dodge the first one, then immediately get ready to dodge the second one. If you're having trouble with this particular attack, this is where I actually recommend using Immobilize, as you can stop his attack dead on and get some hits on him and get a good combo going. If at any time during the fight the boss backs up spinning his staff and then pauses like you see here on screen, he's actually about to throw his weapon at you. Now, you can try and use a pillar stance if you want, press up on the D-pad to change the stance and then hold triangle to simply get into the air, or you can simply dodge this. Be careful though, as the weapon will go back towards him and it can hit you from behind. The final move to look out for is when he will flip backwards, spinning his weapon and actually go up into the air. This is usually when his health is pretty low. There, you'll see a brief pause in air, then the wolf will lunge at you from the air with his weapon in front of him. If you want to be really ballsy trying to use your pillar move, go ahead. However though, if he does hit the pillar, he will knock you out of that stance and you'll be thrown to the ground. So if you're able to time it pretty well, you can try to knock him out of it, but I wouldn't recommend it. Simple dodge is going to work here just fine. Now, in terms of how to counter this boss, after dodging each of the attack and the boss will walk around for a bit, simple light attacks will obviously work here. Again, like we mentioned beforehand, if you like to use the pillar stance, you can actually try to use this to knock the boss out of his combo attacks to then get your own attacks in. Some are easier than others, however, though. The magic move Immobilize is obviously your best friend for this fight, but the cooldown can be pretty long and it uses magic. I recommend using this to stop the boss when he's attacking you, like say an attack that you might be having trouble dodging or it's just hitting you regardless. Otherwise, this is a very early boss, so there's not much to really go over. Try to mix up your light attacks with heavy attacks, dodge, obviously, and don't rush the final attacks like I did when the boss's health is really low. Keep up the attacks until you finally take this boss down and actually claim his weapon. Now here's a full run of the boss fight sped up a tad to show you how to take Guangzhi down. As always, learn the attacks and patterns. It's okay if it takes you a couple of tries. If If you enjoy the guides, then a like on the video shows us that you enjoy this type of content, and don't forget to check out our other Black Myth Wukong guides and content, along with our other videos in the top right corner and pinned comment. Thanks for watching the video. I've been Talon with Direct Gaming. I hope you have a great day and week, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. Johnny.